Welcome to Food Way of Life from the Law of Nutrition by Master Beinsa Douno. Vegetarian, Part 2 of 2 and Words of Wisdom. The spiritual lineage of the Universal White Brotherhood was founded by Master Beinsa Douno, also known as Peter Konstantinov Dunov of Bulgaria, in 1897. Master Beinsa Douno taught that the qualities of humility, obedience, honesty, goodness, intelligence, and nobility are foremost in spiritual practice. He explained that one should walk the path of love, wisdom, and truth. The Universal White Brotherhood believes that God is in everything, in the stones, the plants, the water, the air, the animals, and the light. Following the principle of ahimsa or non-violence, Master Beinsa Douno practiced and preached a vegetarian diet. The master was also an accomplished musician and composer of many spiritual songs and compositions. We will now continue with the life-changing text of wisdom by the venerated Master Beinsa Douno on the vital importance of nutrition and how each specific food that we eat reacts differently in our body. Here is an excerpt from The Law of Nutrition, a book compiled of the Master's teachings. Food, way of life. The happiness of a person depends on his eating. If he knows how to eat, he will be happy. If you observe a man while he is eating, you will know what will happen. You will know the results from the eating. The good fortune in any area generally depends on man's eating. Look at how somebody is eating and you will see if he will become smart, a scientist, if he will be good, well-spoken, a musician. Eating can produce anything. When you see somebody eating 45 times, you can tell what will become of him. Depending on what food you eat, this is what you will become. This law is correct in both the physical and the spiritual world. Animal or human blood shed through violence cannot but bring bad consequences for man. This is a strict and stern law of nature. Just observe what food one eats. You don't have to know his nature. It is enough to know what kind of food he eats. When you see what kind of food he eats, you will know what his character is. Just see what food does the wolf or spider or the snake eat, and you will see what their character is. What does the sheep eat? Grass. So, food has created the wolf. Food has created the snake. Food has created sheep's character, etc. People who eat regular food have one character, and those who eat the divine food have another character. Evil is not in eating. When a certain food is being forbidden, this is done in order to avoid any suffering of the being using that food. All the evil suffered by people is due to the fact that they eat the apples without sowing their seeds. They milk the cow without taking care of it. They milk it, give it some straw, and on Sunday they give it some grain. They use the cow. Nature never likes mere use. Here's what I say. Woe to those who use their neighbors. Woe to them. Blessed are those who do not use. Do you think a wolf is just a sheep by catching and tearing it to pieces? If you ask why it tears the sheep to pieces, the wolf would say, "This is a pastry made for me to try it." The wolf would reply about the sheep the same way you would about the pastry. When you tear apart the pastry, You just say, "It is made for me," and you put no life at all in the pastry. The wolf never thinks that there is a soul in the sheep and it suffers. The wolf sees it as a pastry. Whether the wolf thinks like that or not, this is a matter of comparison. If the wolf could grasp that the sheep suffers, and that one day it shall suffer as well, it would never do such a thing. The reflection of the angels are the tetrapods, cows, oxen, etc. They are the reflection of angels on earth, who are the daughters. The sons and daughters are here among us. How do you treat the sons and daughters? You say, "This is a cow, ox, sheep, etc." Then what do you understand of life? This is yourselves. These are your brothers and sisters which sacrifice themselves for your life. They die every day. You butcher them, eat them, take their milk and butter, and settle a great question. What is God? More than 35 million animals die in a year, not of natural death, but because they are killed by people. The least number of animals are killed in India. Their religion maintains that animals, and especially mammals, must not be killed. The greatest number of cattle is in India. There they live to very old age and are respected like old people. When they die, these animals are buried. A lot of meat is eaten abroad. In America, they butcher about 35-40 million pigs every year. There has never been such an onslaught of mammals as now, and that is why there is an abnormal condition in the organic world. Animals have developed the stomach system of people. 75% of the current sufferings of people are due to that indiscriminate killing of mammals, of animals, which form cataclysms in the mental world, a great quake. The fact that the nervous system is so shaken is due to the indiscriminate killing of animals by the human race. This race not only kills animals but also conserves them. They just stay and rot for years. The outrageous slaughtering of animals for food produces a great turmoil in the astral world. The entire atmosphere is disturbed, and we want to be healthy in this situation. For this injustice, for taking their lives, we will suffer a long time. I would like those who claim that animals should be butchered to show me a single healthy person. If there is none, let them prove what the reasons are for people not to be healthy. We cultural people think that these creatures are our slaves. If we are the masters of the world, let us rule over sicknesses. We cannot rule over sicknesses, poverty, indigence, or earthquakes either. Fear and anger give birth to a terrible poison. I am against meat eating, because when animals are butchered, when their lives are taken, fear and hatred arise in them. And then one of the most dangerous poisons is born. That poison has poisoned the entire human race. All the nervousness which is observed among men is due to the slaughtering of mammals. These are millions of creatures, which, when they enter the astral world, they disturb the entire atmosphere, and yet we want to be healthy. All the sicknesses are due to our injustice towards them. All the sicknesses attacking people are due to former or current crimes. Nothing remains unpunished. The germs now poisoning the human body are nothing but the poison of fear and hatred which the cattle, chickens, lambs felt towards the man who killed and butchered them. Is that possible? It is possible. The same way, an offensive word can poison and destroy a human body. The fear and hatred of animals, which man butchers, poison his body. Certain sicknesses, bad thoughts, and desires which occur in you are caused by certain mammals. In order to be relieved of all these sufferings, you must mellow down your attitudes towards animals. Loving viewers, we appreciate your presence for today's words of wisdom.